What is up, guys, and welcome back then to an episode of the F123 My Team Crew. And we are here for episode number 2 today for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in season number 1. If you guys did miss the previous episode, the opener then of this series, well, which was a very long time ago, and I do apologize for that. Be sure to go check that one out before you see this one then, as don't mind us quickly checking the settings here. Just quickly going through. I did have to adjust the difficulty, unfortunately. Then I did try to adjust it as best as I could for the Bahrain Grand Prix, but I guess I was so used to the F122 difficulty that it didn't really matter at that point. It's so much easier to drive the cars in this game, so I mean, just maybe the reason why I have to be a higher AI level. We'll have to alter it then as we go along, because remember, there still is the problem though with the AI difficulty kind of varying between each track. But we'll talk about that later. Anyways, I'm focusing on the car itself then. We do have some potential upgrades we could try to fit on then. We do have a potential weight reduction we could do in time for the Australian Grand Prix. If that we could do that, that'd be great. We do also have a potential powertrain upgrade that will come in time for the Australian Grand Prix, as we do manage to purchase that. We do have 1,170 resource points on the left end. There is a gearbox upgrade we could do on the durability side. I mean, durability, do we really care too much? I mean, it might just be helpful as we will unlock some other durability upgrades potentially then in the future then. But going back to the chassis real quick, then this one unfortunately does not have any discounts, but it's not that expensive, so we're going to spend, that's also going to come in time then for the...
It looks like you've had a meeting request from one of our departments. As the boss, departments will
Alright, whatever, I'm not going to bother with this guy. Anyways then, I'll get back to that in a second. So, do we either focus on pace or awareness for Iwasa? And I'm going to choose, honestly, with pace. This guy needs to get his pace up then with his, with this pace. I can't speak it. I want the pace to get up because I need him to be with the top guys here, trying to at least fight for points. We did come P7, that was with quite a bit of luck there. But, if we are to get a better position in the constructors, we are going to need to have some more upgrades and also a better teammate, as well as we do purchase a minor rear downforce then. Like I said, with that chassis upgrade, unfortunately it does not have any discounts, but it will also come in time then for the Australian Grand Prix. So that technically means 3 upgrades coming in time then, as we get the plank upgrade, which is a massive help for us then. Another weight, another upgrade to the chassis. I think it's weight redistribution, I'm not 100% sure here as we make our way through the timeline. Now it's time, we are here then for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and making our way through the practice programs real quick then, as we hope to try and get this done in one quick sweep here. We are putting in a slightly older engine for now. I think it's still the first engine we're using, and for some reason I don't really understand the fact why we keep failing these half the time. As you can clearly see right there, the weight redistribution failing. Can we get it this time? At least we can get it this time, but we wasted so much time here trying to do that. Come on, guys. You gotta be better at that. Like, there's some of these goals that are so easy, and, like, you know, you just end up completely mucking it with the practice. Like, for example, open all DRS zones, or activate all DRS zones in practice, and it fails. Like, how do you miss that? Like, how, like, distracted are you from actually driving? Or how bad are you at driving the F1 car? Anyways then, but this one, we are getting a bit more luck than through these. We know we're not going to do the durability one just yet. Can we do this one? Activate DRS zones in all zones in practice. Okay, we can actually do it for once here. Can we do this one? Can we do it again for the second time, please? Yes, we can. So all that's really left is, well, durability. There's a bit of drag reduction, but the durability is kind of in the way. We could try 2 at once, and we're actually going to go for it here. It is only 10 minutes and 30 seconds. First try does not work. Can we get a second attempt, though? And it looks like, yes, we will. So, 50-50 chance we get the right side of the coin. Can we do another 50% success chance? And we do somehow manage to do that. Somehow. Can we finish it off with a 70% success? Should be quicker. Yes, we do. So, we get all 5 done in each category, which is good. So, we do manage to get some more development boosts. I'm trying to find the right words here, I'm sorry for that, but as you can clearly see there, no resource points gained for some reason, although, remember, this was before the updates then, so it does not actually technically count. So, of course, in the newer update, you will see that your resource points will get added then to the total. But anyways, that's enough yabbering about useless stuff. Let's go to quali, shall we? Alrighty then, here we are in the garage. Time for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix qualifying, then loading up the setup as per usual, then draining the fuel as much as we possibly can to have the lightest car possible. Hopefully we'll have some decent pace around here, although I'm not expecting any heroics unlike Bahrain, which was absolutely insane to put the car on pole, although remember we did have the car, the difficulty at like 87 or something like that, so we're going to throw that out, but hey, it is still pole position regardless then. But let's get on cracking with the lap, shall we? Into the first corner we go, absolutely missing the apex by about 5 miles, and absolutely making a hash out of the second corner. So great start to the lap so far then. Getting on the power nice and early as we make our way towards the S section. Really got to be brave through these corners here, trying to chuck the car in, trying to keep the car on the track then for that matter. We went a bit wide there. Managed to keep the car within the white lines, keep our lap then, getting very, very comfy with the walls here. We make our way through this sequence of corners here. Paris pumps in the quickest lap time with a 25.7, I think, or got a 29.7. I can't read right now at the moment, unfortunately. Maybe it was a 35.7. I'm just going to be guessing at this point. Through the long left-hander we go. That's one of our weakest corners then in this track here. But remember, though, like in real life, the track was definitely widened to improve visibility, and we are definitely going to be using that to our advantage and trying to just minimize the amount of turning we're doing and just maximize our straight flying speed. And as we make our way down this next straight, if it's even really a straight at this point, here we get the DLS, and again, minimizing the distance we're traveling through each point here. Through the fast chicane we go, and we absolutely missed the apex then by about 10 miles. That really getting the car collected into the wall there as we make our way onto the final corner then of this very, very long lap. 27 corners then in this track, so definitely got to negotiate a lot. But a lot of it is high speed, and it flows into the next one. So it's not actually really feeling like 27 corners in. But anyways then, we're going to talk about that later. Across the line we go for our first time lap, and it's going to put us, well, P3 ahead of the Alfa Romeo, Bottas and Tsunoda, only just behind Sainz and Paris, although Paris, I think, lap time was like 4 or 5, like a full second quicker. As we come back to the garage, though, we're only P6 then. And it's not a bad lap then at the moment, although as we get pushed down the order, we're now down to P13. Iwasa, he's in P17, so now we start to see a little bit more of a realistic AI, where unlike you know, other times where like we were in P5, P6 by the end of the session. And you can notice there Alex Albon was up there as well. So I think we are actually in a decent position then with the AI level. We might have to readjust it again. Maybe just to increase it a little bit there as we absolutely rev the heck out of this engine. But we get 6/10 then through that first quarter by actually making the apex for the first time in like forever then. And we actually managed to get a decent run through the section. 8/10 up then at the moment. I did go out again just to make sure we actually make our way into the second part of qualifying, although there is no guarantee these other guys may have some extreme drops, and we'll see how quickly it ends up then. Purple to the first sector, somehow, as we make our way through the long left-hander here. 1.2 seconds up then on our time, but we get a little bit of snap and roast here, and just at the time it's starting to slip away from us. Now we're under a second improvement. It'd still be a massive improvement nonetheless then. Through the sequence of corners we go, we don't want to ride that curve too much because we will bottom out there, and that can ruin our run times higher. Back straight here as we open the DRS, and again minimizing the line then through these corners here, gaining a bit of time. 1.018, I think that was, through that sequence of course, now getting a much cleaner line and through that fast chicane here. And as we make our way then onto the final bend of corners here, we're down to P18 already as the guys are starting to pump in lap times here. Gasly, he's on P16 at the moment. He's put in a 130.5, I think that is. So we're going to try and see if we can beat that then, but I think we will then, with a plenty of time. 1.3 seconds then across the line here. Where's this going to put us then? It's going to put us P5 and well out of the drop zone there. And that is going to be seeing us safely into Q2 then for the next qualifying session for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But where is Iwasa then in all of this? And he's going to be unfortunately in the drop zone then, so not really ideal then for the Japanese driver, although he wasn't that far off. Well, I say that he was 7/10 off, but I mean, like I said, I mean the field spread is so tight in this game. Like literally 110 you could be easily between, you know, getting out of qualifying and missing out on the next section. But anyways, then we're here then for the second part of qualifying. Then I can't speak, can I? Qualifying number 2 then, and we are sitting in the garage waiting for the final runs then because we only have one fresh set then of soft tires. No really need to go for a banker then. But as we go through the time here, so the current time to hit is a 130.1, which we did beat by quite some margin then in Q1 then. But we'll see how Q2 goes along then. As we make our way across the line then, we'll have to hopefully have a good lap here. See if we get into the next phase then of qualifying. Again, make a hash out of that second corner here. Hopefully, that's not going to cost us too much time, as all the other guys are out on the laps then at the moment. So we're going to have to hope for a decent lap then.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
Around the Jeddah corner circuit, as Mark just tells me we have 30 seconds left here. Getting very comfy with the walls. We really got to get comfy, or else we're just really going to mess up the run as we go a bit too wide there. We don't want to do a mixed Schumacher like last year. That was pretty scary, I must admit. As we are 4 tenths up already on the next time, actually 3 tenths, as Albon now is the guy in 12th then. But Albon, I presume, is going to be improving. It's nice to see the Williams, at least in Albon's hands, is actually doing very, very, very well. So we'll see how that ends up then. Making our way through the next 2 corners. Qualifying is now completely, nearly losing the back end there, managing to catch the car just in time here. As we make our way down this back straight then towards the fast chicane here. Albon's got a 1:02.2 through the first 2 sectors. We are 4.5 tenths down then on the time, getting a nice run to the going a bit too wide though, unfortunately. That's going to cost us a bit of time then down this back straight here. We make our way into the final corner. Albon's putting a 30.2. Don't know who the guy in 10th is at the moment. That we'll have to see in a couple of seconds here. As we make our way into the final corner here, really braking late. They can really brake late and carry a lot of speed into that corner, then over the DRS. And as we make our way towards line, staying to the left-hand side to minimize the distance across the line. Where's this going to put us then? Are we out then of Q2 with just 1 run? Yes, we are then. P7 then. Somehow with just 1 run, we have made our way then up into, well, that is P7 then, and that is us then into the next part of qualifying. And while Tsunoda's in there, I'm pretty surprised that Albon unfortunately is out though, as well as Ocon, Bottas, Joe Guanyu also out. Stroll in the Aston Martin is also out as well, so a very big shock then from Canadian. Hulkenberg for some reason has not set a time though. Kind of interesting to see why he has not done that. But we are waiting then for the final run then of qualifying, doing the same strategy then as Q2, where we literally just wait in the garage, wait for the final turns, and then we can go then for 1 flying lap then around the circuit. As we make our way then onto the main straight here for the first time, the first and only flying lap then up Q3, 35 seconds remaining then as we make our way into turn 1 then for the first time then into the chicane. We have a bit of a rear lock up there, but it actually helps to rotate the car just a little bit there. As we make our way then towards the next sequence of corners, now coming towards the fast sweeping S section here into turn 4.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
I was not expecting that to happen. Yeah. Maybe I should have done a banker run. At least put in a time. For Q3, maybe, who knows who we replace. But here we are then coming into this corner. At this point here, I'm like, the car is going to make it. And then it was too late. At this point, I realized, oh, we're going to go straight into the wall. But by then, it was too late. And unfortunately, yeah, there goes the suspension. There goes the car. And yeah. I was not expecting the car actually to grip that fast. I thought there'd be a bit of understeer. I thought it was carrying a bit too much speed into that corner. So I thought it'd be understeering a bit wide. But unfortunately, that is our first retirement then out of any session really from this F123 My Team Primo. But hey, there's always a first for everything, eh? So Verstappen though gets pole though ahead of Leclerc and Russell. So very interesting then. Let's see where we end up. Then we're gonna be a 14-10. But Sainz didn't set a lap time. He is very interesting to see. But that's enough yabbering about. It's time for the real business.
So here we are then, welcoming you today to one of the jewels of the Arab world. Jeddah, one of the biggest cities in Saudi Arabia, second only to Riyadh, gateway to Mecca. One of the biggest ports in the region and now host to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at a topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Perez, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Tsunoda, Sainz, Gallagher, Ocon, Bottas, Albon, Joe, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Magnussen, Oscar Piastri, Iwasa, De Vries and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And Anthony Davidson joins us in the commentary box. Ant, take us through the eras when you were driving, compare it to this one. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen?
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? And of course, it's looking very close here today. A lot's going to be riding on those first few corners, and then the question becomes who can manage their tyres so they're in a better position to push hard towards the end.
Alrighty then, it's time then to start the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and strategy-wise is going to be a simple one-stop then from mediums to hards. There are a couple guys on the soft tires, so we'll see how their race actually pans out then. So you can see Bottas, sorry not Bottas, Ocon right behind us is starting then on the soft tires, so we'll be curious to see how quickly he's going to be catching up then. We'll see how far we can get up the field just simply on these medium tires. I don't expect us to be really that fast at the beginning. We did have some incredible pace at Bahrain simply just because of the fact that, well, you know, the AI difficulty was maybe just a tad bit too low. But anyways, lining up on our grid slot, then a purple grid slot.
Parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
And Mark giving us a bit of encouragement. Is that even the word? I can't
be ready with the clutch.
Here we go then. Let's go to 5 red lights for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here in Season 1. Lights out. We are green, green, green here in Saudi Arabia. It's a decent start for us actually against a lot of guys here. Against Tsunoda and Norris. So up the inside. We go steaming up the inside. We're ping-ponging about between Alonso and Tsunoda here. Somehow managed to get away with no damage there. We also made contact there with Lewis Hamilton tire while we're up there into P7.
No tire concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
Somehow having no damage out of that as we really made our way through there. Up to P7 though, Ocon's followed us. He's up to P8 then. Norris, he's in P9. He had a terrible start off the line as we go way too wide there. Nearly getting on the curb of death there, unfortunately. But we do manage to get ahead there. As looking up ahead, we have Verstappen leading the way then away from Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Alonso, Hamilton. There's us. And you got Ocon and Norris going wheel to wheel behind us here. And you also got Sainz and Tsunoda going wheel to wheel. Sainz really did not get a great start off the line either, and neither did Norris, like I said earlier. But Norris has cleared Ocon then, which is crucial because, remember, like I said, he is on the soft compounded tires. Anyways, all these other guys here making their way. Unfortunately, Iwasa, well, he's at the back of the grid at the moment. We'll see how quickly he's going to catch up. But look at Norris, the straight line speed the AI is actually got. Actually, I should rephrase that. We actually do have a really good straight line speed, so you can clearly see here. As Ocon's going to try to go for a move here on Norris. Remember that McLaren is not too fast in the straight line, but I'm going to ignore that here. As Norris tries to go around the outside, we go deep on the brakes, though, unfortunately. Try to force him out there. And instead, Ocon's going to try to have a move on us, but we do manage to get the drive out of that last corner then. And Norris and Ocon are going to try to just scrap away then. But like I said, we do have a decent setup then right now, so hopefully that can give us an edge on our opponents. As Sainz tries to power past Norris here into turn 1 and 2. They go Sainz on the inside then of Norris. Let's see how this is going to pan out here. They're still going to go side by side here. Remember, these were two former teammates then at McLaren a couple years ago. Side by side they go. And Sainz just manages to get ahead in P9 here. There's a couple guys shuffling positions. Stroll, by the way, he's down in 17. Don't really know what happened to him here. Just looking at Perez here. He's on the soft compounded tires. I think Leclerc is on the medium, so he's going to be trying to get past him as quickly as possible. But as both Hamilton and Alonso here are battling them for P5 and 6, Alonso gets a bit too eager on the throttle there, and he's going to be up into P6. And you can clearly see us. We're struggling right now as we're down at P8. Oh my goodness. Ocon has passed us, and now Sainz is all over the back of us here. Not surprising because the Ferrari has a massive race pace advantage compared to us here. So we close the door on him. He's going to try to steam up the inside here. The AI straight line speed once again coming into their advantage here. As Norris is also going to try to make a move on us. So we're going to give a big old squeeze into the Brit driver. Making our way around the corner here. We go. Well, we try to keep it on the track as best we can. We do manage to do so successfully, and that's us now in P9. So we've lost 2 positions here in 1 lap here. As we look up to the top here, Perez trying to make a move here on Verstappen. Leclerc, that is. He does get the drive off the line momentarily. I'm not so sure, though, if he's going to make that move here. We'll see just in a bit as we look behind here to try to see who is shuffling for positions here. As we now look back, and Perez actually has now gotten past Leclerc until the Red Bull straight line advantage compared to the Ferrari has meant that he's now up into P2, and is a Red Bull 1-2 then at the moment, as Tsunoda and Bottas are going side by side through this section here. Bottas on the outside though will get the drive off the line here, as a bunch of these other guys behind there are also on these soft compounded tires, and so we'll see how quickly they can manage to get up through the field, and if the tire wear will start to affect them anytime soon. Lap 3 though, and Norris is flying by here. That McLaren straight line speed, even though it's kind of non-existent at this point, is pretty fast. We drift our way through the last corner as you saw there, and we managed to stay ahead then of Norris 4. Now we did not get DRS that time around here. The DRS detection point, a little bit interesting then around the second. Remember, has to move in the last corner here as we look behind to see these guys going 3 wide down the main straight here. It's almost looking like NASCAR right now, except these are one of the most expensive machines on earth there. We got Norris in the middle, Bottas on the outside, Tsunoda on the inside here. Tsunoda's going to be the one ending up losing a lot of positions here, as Albon is in P13 waiting to pick up the scratch here. Albon, by the way, is also on these soft tires as well then. As we look up through the field here, we got Sainz trying to catch Ocon here, and he has done so successfully. I won't be surprised if these soft tires start to wear out quite drastically here in the next couple of laps. Gasly, he is also then...
Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 3.4 seconds.
Gasly is also on the soft tires. We go way too wide there in that corner here. Somehow,
Okay,
let's see.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of it.
Somehow we managed to get no damage, and also somehow managed to keep it on the track similar, and we completely missed that corner. We had to go on the outside there. We do get a warning for corner cutting, even though I did try my best to sort of, just make sure we didn't get any warnings here. But you can clearly see we do have the straight line speed compared to the AI, even without using the overtake button. So we do have some decent pace down the straights, luckily. As you can see on the top left there, Sainz has gotten past Esteban Ocon then, so Sainz is now released and trying to catch the top 6 here. And both Alpines are on the soft tires, so we'll be interested to see who's going to be pitting first then out of these two guys. I'm assuming it'll be Ocon as we go, well, steaming down the inside, and in the same process, absolutely murdering then poor Lando Norris. I'm sorry, my guy here. Did not mean to do that on purpose here. As I look back on a replay then of Sainz overtaking Ocon. Now let's look up to the top then real quick. This is a quick replay of where these guys are. So we have Verstappen and Perez actually battling for the first spot here. I'm presuming Perez to try to get ahead here, and he does so successfully at this moment in time here. But now Leclerc is waiting to pick up the scraps. We got Russell and Hamilton in a fight for P4 and P5 here. Verstappen's going to try to fight back though against Sergio Perez. Leclerc almost tries to fit his way through there. Hamilton's also going to try to make a move then around the outside of his teammate George Russell here into turn 1 and 2 they go. Hamilton's going to get the inside line here. Ocon's going to try to catch up then to Carlos Sainz, but he's not going to do so. As again, they're going 3 wide again with Bottas, Tsunoda, and Norris into turn 1. This time, Tsunoda on the inside, Norris on the outside, Bottas in the middle there. And actually, it's going to be Bottas that comes out as the victorious person here, as Norris is down at P12 here. Albon, this is a huge, humongous train here of all these guys. Lap 5, and Norris is out of the Grand Prix then. What I presume is an engine issue. We're going to let Bottas by for now here to see if we can hopefully maybe just get back in our rhythm here, charge up some battery, and see if we can maybe make a late charge here. But Norris is now out of the Grand Prix. Feel bad for this guy. He was riding with us in the top 10, the bottom part of the top 10, but still top 10 nonetheless here. But he will not be partaking anymore in this race as we go straight up the inside there of Bottas. But at the same time, we kind of mucked that up, and I had to pause there for a second. I was wondering what the heck just happened, because we got Tsunoda charging up our inside here. We're going to have to burn all the battery we were trying to save here. After I got some serious straight line speed, we're going to go up the inside of Bottas. It was kind of a half... Oh my gosh, I cannot speak today. Kind of a half-hearted move, because I didn't want to really dive down the inside of him, but we do manage to make the move successfully then, and we are up into that is P9 at the moment, as we have a couple guys going behind here slowly. We'll see what that's all about here in just a second. We look into Verstappen and Perez, and still fighting for that top spot here in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We're still very early into this race here, and you can see Leclerc is just watching this with a bucket of popcorn and waiting to pick up the pieces here as they make their way towards the final quarter. Then Verstappen on the outside, Perez still on the inside. Those soft tires have to be shot at this point here. We're going to see how it ends up here. They make their way down the main straight once again. Is it going to be 3 wide? No, Leclerc's going to try to follow Verstappen. Is he going to try to go for the double overtake here on the Dutchman as well into turn 1 and 2? They go Leclerc on the inside, Verstappen on the outside. Verstappen does get the drive out of that corner. Russell, Hamilton along the sides, Ocon. And look at this massive train you are seeing then with these guys, as Down the main straight we go. You can see us in battle then with Valtteri Bottas there. Albon's up into P11 then. You can see our red light is flashing. We have burned a lot of battery here to try and stick with these guys here. Tsunoda's starting to struggle a little bit. What if he's starting to maybe face a bit of tire wear, or if he maybe has a bit of damage? I'm not 100% sure here. As they make their way through the next sequence of corners, so Gasly trying to send it to the inside, but that's not going to work then for the Frenchman at this moment here. And we'll try to still see if Gasly's going to come out on top of this. A nice camera shot here right by his side here as he makes the way then into the long left hand thing. I can't speak right now. Gasly's going to try to go for a move then. It's not going to work though as they go through the banking then. We are sticking then with Bottas, but we have to make sure we don't trip over each other too much, or else Albon's going to be picking up the pieces. He's right there in P11. He's on the cusp of points, so he's going to be aggressive to try and get into the top 10. As we watch Leclerc here catching up then to Max Verstappen. He's going to go powering past then through that corner. Into the final corner we go then, and Leclerc is up into the lead. But Verstappen, he's going to have the DRS then off the Mount of Gas driver here. They make their way down the main straight. Once again, we know the power of the DRS is supreme here in F123, and look at the Red Bull straight line speed. Is Verstappen going to power his way past? We'll see in just a couple of minutes as they make a bit of contact there into turn 1 there. On into turn 2 they go. Leclerc gets the drive out there, and that is a lead secured then for Leclerc at the moment here. These guys are still looking strong on these soft compound tires, but I will suspect they are going to be starting to box pretty soon here as Tsunoda's going to try to go for a move here on the Aston Martin. Stroll has not really seen a lot of, we haven't really seen a lot of progress from the Canadian driver in this race. I wonder if he has maybe had some worn power units, although it doesn't really make sense because it's only the second race then of the season, end of lap 8 or towards the middle of lap 8, so pretty much 30 seconds later here. Watching George Russell trying to chase after his teammate Lewis Hamilton here. By the way, Mercedes are running P4 and 5, which is not a bad result for this team at the moment then, so hopefully nothing bad is going to be happening to them this race as they make their way down the back straight here towards the final corner. We'll catch up with them in just a second. As you can clearly see, Gasly has some supreme pace and compared to Albon as he was released, of course, by Tsunoda and Stroll here into the chicane we go. I don't think they'll be making a move just yet here. As onto the main straight we go here, both Mercedes once again. I wonder if he is going to have a move on his teammate. He is going to have a move on his teammate, but not a very likely move as Hamilton, he has an engine failure as we go around the outside then of Valtteri Bottas. Into the final corner we go. Hamilton's going to be retiring from this race with an engine issue. His engine goes up in smoke then, and that's going to be another 3 positions for all of us behind here. We make our way down the main straight here, and there is confirmation that Hamilton has DNF'd from this race here. Into turn 1 we go. Bottas, he's going to try to overtake under yellow flags. He's going to give up that position back though, so unfortunate penalty for him. We interrupted Mark by accident. Sorry, Mark. Did not mean to do that. Lap 10 and onto lap 11, and Perez is pitting then. He's going to be pitting then. Let's see what tires he's going to go to. I presume he's going to be on the hard tires and try to get to the end of this race. Soft tires off, and it's going to be medium tires on instead for the Mexican driver. Is the Mexican driver confident that his tire wear is not too bad? Maybe we'll see what the other guys do. Ocon's going to be coming into the pits next lap, this lap as well. He's not really so good on tires. I guess he's decent, but he's not great. We'll see what tires he's going to go onto at this moment in time. He's also going to go onto the medium tires. So are these soft runners going to be trying to do a one-stop from soft to medium? It's going to be a very bold strategy from these guys, but it might just pay off then with this massive undercut they're going to be getting on us. Let's see if Stroll, what he's going to go onto. Yeah, he's also going onto the medium tires as well. Pretty slow stop then for the Aston Martin team. McLaren, I think they're going onto the same tires as well. Yeah, they're both going on medium tires. So I am assuming then that these guys are going to be staying on the medium tires until the end of the race. I don't think they'll be trying to do a 2-stop this race. It'd be kind of a waste though, not going to lie, as the pit lane is pretty slow. And ignore the fact we actually just extended the track by about 5 miles in that last corner then. Looking at the previous running at the moment here, we got a couple guys here mixed in with some other guys here. What am I saying at this point? You have guys who've already pitted then in this race, already mixed in with some guys who have not pitted. And a lot of these guys, remember, we are all on the medium tires then, so we'll see if any of these guys are going to be pitting in this up. I don't think so at this moment. The medium tires should probably go about 11-12 laps then. Is Verstappen going to be pitting? No, he is not, and neither is Leclerc. What about Russell? Is he going to be pitting? No. Alonso? Is he going to be pitting? Nope. Don't think so either. So I think we're going to be staying out for at least, I think all of us are going to be staying out for a majority of this lap here. And we'll be coming in next lap here as we're catching up into Bottas here, making sure to stay away from Tsunoda and Albon, which, by the way, they are battling in for currently P9 and P10. But we're going to be coming in this lap instead because I'm already starting to feel the tire wear on these mediums, and it is not pretty. Then we are going to be coming with the rest of the soft tire, guys. We're going to be seeing where we're going to come out relative to these other guys here. So we'll hopefully get an undercut on these guys, optimal turn, and then into the pit box we go. Medium tires off, hard tires on, and we are good to go back into the race.
Fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
And we are back then.
Tires now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Oh my goodness, Mark, let me focus, please. As Stroll has now overtaken us, so this undercut, I mean, in his case, has worked for him, and so. But we are on the hard tires then, so he's got to look out for his mediums. I already on lap 11, I was really starting to feel quite a bit of tire wear, so I don't think he's going to be having to really push that hard then on those mediums if he wants to make it to the end of this race, unless he does some extreme tire wear saving. But with these hard tires, we can now start to push on these bad boys then, and hopefully we can make our way deeper into the top 10 here. As down the back straight we go. Leclerc, he's got a bit of DRS then off of Verstappen, which is really helping him, I must say, here, as he tries to hold on to this P2 position at this moment in time, as Joe and Magnussen will be going side by side here, down the back straight here. Hulkenberg's got a decent view of this. Remember, Joe's got no DRS, Madison's got DRS though. Madison, though, does not have a really good straight line speed. As into the pit boxes they go here, Leclerc gets the hard tires on, so these guys, they're going onto the hard tires as well. Surprised the guys on the softs are going onto the mediums then. But it is impressive though that they were managed to carry the softs in 10 laps, so I guess that is a fair reason, as we see Perez jumping both Verstappen and Leclerc. Remember, he had 2 laps of an undercut on them, and he is now up into P3 then, which I presume he's going to take then. He's going to take the lead once Russell and Sainz Perez. A couple of these other guys are going to be starting to pit this lap. One example is Valtteri Bottas. Remember, we were behind him before the pit stops, and he gets the the hard tires on as well, and out he goes then. Magnussen gets the hard tires. That was a very slow stop then for the Danish driver here. Sargent puts on the medium tires. Remember, he started on those softs, and we can clearly see that we are ahead then of Valtteri Bottas. Also, Gasly has had a huge, Gasly and Piastri, I must say, have had a huge undercut then on these other guys. So we have to watch out for these guys, as Ocon's going to be trying to overtake our teammate here, Ayumu Iwasa here. Can Iwasa put up a decent fight here? He's going to let him by though, unfortunately, as probably smart because he's not really in this race. De Vries is also up there in P11. Stroll, like I said, he had a massive undercut, and so our goal is going to be trying to catch him towards the end of this race here. As there is us here at the moment here. Gallagher, I understand, our own person, eh? Gasly and Piastri here fighting for P14, 15. Bottas, he's been shafted. He's down to P16 here. So unfortunate to see him. As Russell now comes into the pits, and I presume he will be going then onto the hard compound tires, or he could go on the softs. I'm not sure. No, he's going to go onto the hards. And decent stop then for the British driver here. What about Sainz? He's also been going onto hards. Not a very decent stop though for the Ferrari driver, as Alonso comes down to make sure. Let's see where he's going to filter out then compared to the rest of the other guys here, as Gasly's going to be trying to make a move on Piastri. Is he going to try to make a move on us? We do not have a lot of straight line speed without DRS. Into the final corner we go. We're going to leave the door open pretty much then for Gasly, as we made a huge mistake there, but it was done on purpose there, so we can get some DRS then down this back main straight here, as we'll see what the other guys are going into. Hulkenberg's going to go into the hard tires. We do manage to get past Pierre Gasly. Piastri's going to be trying to make a move then around the outside. We're going to squeeze him out then into turn 1 and 2, and since he does that, he actually compromises then Gasly's line, so we actually managed to put some breathing distance between them. But it's not really going to matter, because on lap 14 out to lap 15, Gasly's going to try to steam back down the inside of us. We go way too deep then into the corner. We cloud the wall there. Any damage?
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of it.
Somehow having no damage on the car. We're trying to get past them.
7.8 seconds.
I don't want to worry too much about the team right now, as we're trying to focus on Piastri, trying to go for the switchback here. Gasly gives us a bit of a love tap there on the inside here. Piastri gets past us, and he's up into P9. We're down to P10. We're still in the points end, but now I'm thinking we should probably just try to stick them with Oscar Piastri. On Stroll, he's already 4 seconds up on the run. I know that the Aston Martin has some extreme race pace here compared to us. Remember, we're pretty good in qualifying, but we're not so hot then in the race. So we're going to try to stick with them with Piastri then for the rest of this race, and hopefully we can overtake him at the end, try and secure P9. It'll only be 2 points for us then in the end. But hey, I can't be complaining too much. Remember, we're not really a team that's supposed to be up here. Still trying to find that right AI difficulty here. I might seriously be over 100. Right now we're running about 98, 97 difficulty. I'm curious if we are going to be up there. Anyways, but we're kind of throwing that strategy out the window as we've already overtaken Piastri. Remember that McLaren is just so slow in a straight line here. As Bottas now overtakes Piastri and he is up into P10 then, and I will not be surprised if he's going to be trying to overtake us here anytime soon, because that Alfa Romeo is also pretty quick then through the streets, as you can clearly see, going in all sorts of areas here on the track here as we get caught up on the curb of death there. And now we'll see where we end up here as Joe is going to try to make a move here on Magnussen into the banking here. Into the left-hander they go. Joe on the inside, Magnussen on the outside. Joe, can he get the drive off the line? Yes, he can, just about there. We'll see if he's going to manage to hold the position for now. I think he will. Nope, they're still going side by side for that quick shot of the frame there. And Bottas, he's going to be trying to overtake us here down this back straight here. DRS wide open, bit of a quote-unquote cockpit cam here just to try and see what he is seeing. We're going to give him a bit of a squeeze to the inside here, but we're going to let him go down the inside here and take that position. Apparently I lied, because we retook that position to become 5 here, as now Piastri, Gasly, and Albon are trying to all scratch the positions here. Into the final corner we go here. This time we're actually going to let Bottas by. He goes flying by, nearly clouding our front left tire there. And now we're going to use him as a bit of a horse and carriage here to try and pull us along here and keep us within this fight here. Gasly's going to be trying to make a move, but look at us. We're literally stationary here as we make our way into turn 1. We're going to stick behind Bottas here and keep P10 for now. The main goal will be trying to just hold off Gasly as Piastri and Albon are now battling behind him. We're trying to see who's going to take P12 at the moment. They don't want to battle too much because once they become detached from this train, I won't be surprised if they start to fall off the cliff in terms of pace. And we're going to try to stick with Bottas here. The hard tire is still holding up quite well after 5 laps here of racing. Hopefully by the end they will be a-okay here as we make our way through these corners and on towards the next set of laps here. We are looking pretty strong here in this section of the race here, trying just to follow Bottas's lines here so that we can have a decent lap time. Remember, we want to be consistent with these tires. Once they go past 20%, it is a bit of game over. And lap 20, you are seeing us down in P11 because we have also let Gasly overtake us. Joe is behind us as well. Gasly kind of went for a huge lunge and a half, so he just pretty much let him by here. Gasly makes contact with the wall there. Huge surprise then from the Frenchman. We're going to go steaming around the outside of these guys, or at least try to. Gasly won't be surprised if he has a bit of damage there. We'll also won't be surprised if he has no damage because we've caught it way too many times then, and we somehow have no damage. We go powering past both of these guys, with both Gasly and Bottas, up into P9 then. And let's see if we're going to try to hold this position. We do have a decent amount of battery left in our tank here. Hopefully Gasly and Bottas will try to scrap away here as we have massive snaps of overspeed getting on the power as early as possible. Although it doesn't really hurt too much because Gasly was fighting away with them with Bottas, but already these hard tires have already gone way past 20% here. As Mark gives us an update on the fuel there. So these tires not really feeling so hot at the moment, but let's just try to hold on to this position as best as we can. Gasly's got a decent run though out of that section. Those medium tires still holding up pretty well. Then lap 24, we have let Bottas by. We have also managed to make push Gasly behind, so that now he's behind Joe, which is very helpful for us. Into the final corner we go here. Now we are going to do a full send here, full DRS and ERS as well.
We've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
As we make our way onto the final lap of this Grand Prix here, we're going to power past Valtteri Bottas here, 214 miles an hour down the main straight here into turn 1 we go, and that is us back up into P9. Remember, look at Stroll here. He's already up into, well, what is it, 11-second gap on us. Ocon in the 19 seconds, a beautiful drive in from the other Frenchman here as he's going to secure what I hope is going to be 6 points and for the team unless something drastic is going to happen in these final laps of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here. Nearly getting caught up on the curb of death there, but we managed to keep our wits about successfully here. Bottas is still 3.5 tenths behind us, so
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 11 best of us. Now look, I've put a new
oh my
strategy
goodness,
option for
I
you
may or
in
may not have just accidentally cut off Mark there by putting on something completely different there. Perez though wins the Grand Prix then. Oh my gosh, Mark, I don't want to learn about stuff on the LFD as we absolutely murder Bottas' front wing there, and we get a collision warning for that, but we do manage to get by through that sequence of corners here. And I wanted to do this because I wanted to make sure we have one quick slingshot run into the final corner here so that we can get DRS and we don't want to get overtaken, because remember, Bottas did the same thing to Ocon here, what is it, 2 years ago. So we have learned from the mistakes of the real life drivers here. As we make our way down the main back straight we go here. Look at the speed of the DRS. We're essentially bump drafting into the final corner. I'm surprised we have no damage. I'm pretty sure this thing is on simulation damage here. Yeah, surprisingly no damage here. ERS pushing us to the line here. Joe's got ahead of Bottas. We're going to come across the line in P9 then to take 2 points then for the team here. Nice job from us here. A bit of sketchy racing at times there, as you can clearly see on the final lap. We're not going to talk about that. But hey, we get driver of the day. Good job from us. 2 more points. Very happy.
And that brings the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix to a close then, as we reflect on the team's impressive performance today. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They've performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
So then, congratulations, of course, to Sergio Perez for winning the Grand Prix. So that soft-medium strategy did work out in the end. And, well, he did a massive undercut on these guys and still managed to hold on to the victory. Then you have Verstappen, of course, coming on the PQ, so it's over another Red Bull 1-2. So even in the game, we can't get away from the fact there are Red Bull 1-2s. Leclerc, though, finishes off the podium in P3 then. So still a decent result, though, for us then, in terms of where we finished. 2-1 points then for our Shadow GTF1 racing career. And we do level up on the podium pass, which was, by the way, Series 1, because this was all post-up, pre-update, when we had the red flags fixed and all that stuff. Then, yes, that is how old these clips are, and quite embarrassing. But look at Owasa there. I don't know if you saw that. Owasa was last. Was this really the guy we saw? I thought he would be a bit higher. Yes, I know we don't have the best car on the grid, but come on, man. I need you to be up there with me. Anyways, that's going to be it then for the Grand Prix. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next episode then for the Australian Grand Prix. And hopefully there we'll have some more luck there as we try to continue our quite surprising start to the series.